This is Top Accolade Global News Update. I am Abiodun Mohammed. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Poland would help form a coalition of Western powers to supply warplanes to Kiev as his fighters defended their eastern bastion of Bakhmut in the face of relentless Russian assaults. During a visit to Warsaw on Wednesday, Zelensky said Poland had been instrumental in getting Western allies to send battle tanks to Ukraine, and he believed it could play the same role in a planes coalition. The Polish government said it would send 10 more MiG fighter jets on top of 4 provided earlier, but there has been no agreement from the United States or Ukraine's other major military backers to send the F-16 fighters Kiev has requested. On the front lines, Zelensky said Ukrainian troops faced a difficult situation in the battle for Bakhmut, and the military would take corresponding decisions to protect them if they risked being encircled by Russian forces. In quote, "We are in Bakhmut and the enemy does not control it," Zelensky said, refuting claims by Russian forces that they had captured the city in ruins after months of attritional warfare and bombardment. Ukraine's military said in an early Thursday update, Russian forces were storming Bakhmut with the intention of taking full control of it, adding that Bakhmut, along with the towns of Avdiivka and Mariinka to the southwest, were the epicenter of hostilities. The foreign ministers of Iran and Saudi Arabia met in Beijing on Thursday for the first formal gathering of their top diplomats in more than 7 years after China brokered a deal to restore relations between the top regional powers. After years of hostility that fueled conflict across the Middle East, Iran and Saudi Arabia agreed to end their diplomatic rift and reopen diplomatic missions in a significant deal facilitated by China last month. In a brief footage broadcast on Iranian state TV, Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud and his Iranian counterpart Hossein Amir Abdullahian greeted each other before sitting down side by side. Saudi Arabia and Iran, the Gulf's dominant Sunni Muslim and Shiite Muslim powers respectively, said in a joint statement they would launch arrangements to reopen embassies and consulates within a 2-month period stipulated in the deal. In a tweet, Iran's Amir Abdullahian said the Thursday meeting with his Saudi counterpart was positive, adding that the emphasis on stability and sustainable security were among the issues agreed upon and on the common agenda. In March, Chinese President Xi Jinping helped broker the surprise deal in a display of Beijing's growing influence in the Middle East. China's role in the breakthrough shook up dynamics in the conflict-ridden region, where the United States has for decades been the main mediator. Four-time Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi has been diagnosed with leukemia, a source close to the matter said on Thursday, a day after he was admitted to intensive care with breathing problems. The 86-year-old, whose media empire has made him a billionaire, is being treated in a cardiac unit of Milan's San Raffa Hospital. There has been no official comment on his condition, but the source's diagnosis of leukemia, which is a cancer of the blood cells, confirmed the report in the Corriere della Sera daily. Berlusconi's Forza Italia party is part of Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni's right-wing coalition, though the former Prime Minister does not have a role in government. Tajani, a long-time Berlusconi ally within Forza Italia, noted Berlusconi had survived a series of health problems. The party subsequently released a statement saying Berlusconi had spoken in the morning to senior Forza Italia allies and urged maximum commitment in parliament. "The country needs us," he was quoted as saying. China's second aircraft carrier, the Shandong, is engaged in an exercise in the Western Pacific amid heightened tensions across the Taiwan Strait over a meeting between President Tsai Ing-wen and Speaker of the United States House of Representatives Kevin McCarthy. Taiwanese Defense Minister Chiu Kuo-cheng told reporters in Parliament on Thursday that the aircraft carrier was 200 nautical miles off Taiwan's east coast. In quote, "It is training, but the time is quite sensitive, and what it is up to we are still studying," Chiu said, adding aircraft had yet to be seen taking off from its deck. He later told lawmakers Taiwanese warships were monitoring the carrier at a distance of 5 to 6 nautical miles. The Shandong, China's first domestically built aircraft carrier, sailed through the Bashi Channel south of Taiwan and into the Pacific on Wednesday with a number of other ships from the Chinese Navy. China's state-run Global Times said the deployment showed the Shandong was in quote fully ready for far sea operations and safeguarding China's national sovereignty and territorial integrity. State media say the PLA, People's Liberation Army Eastern Theater Command, has been holding intensive drills on land as well as in the sea and air over the past week. The command covers China's eastern coast. Complaints from consumers about banks and other financial firms in Germany rose by a fifth last year, official data shows, as regulators flex their muscles to shore up trust in the sector. BaFin, Germany's financial watchdog, has been increasing its focus on consumer protection in the wake of the collapse of Wirecard, the blue-chip payment company that folded in an accounting scandal. Grips include long processing times for account closures, changes to terms and conditions, and shrinking branch networks, according to officials, bankers, and consumer protection advocates. The figures, reported by Newsman for the first time, will be made public in an annual report in May. In quote, "It cannot be that financial institutions are doing well because they treat their customers badly," Chan Jae-yu, a BaFin official, said in an interview. Deutsche Kreditwirtschaft, an umbrella organization that lobbies for German finance, said German banks are extremely stable and robust, and confidence remains high and unaffected by recent turmoil stemming from the collapse of lenders in the United States and Switzerland. But a survey last year by YouGov showed that degree of trust in Germany's financial sector, essential for promoting wider financial stability and attracting capital to support economic growth, was below the global average, lagging the likes of Canada, Australia, and major Asian markets. That is the size of top accolade global news updates. You can follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on your screen. Happy Thursday.